Hey guys, get ready for an amazing guest today. He's been on Frasier, Nip Tuck, Poor Paul. He was on the Tim and Eric Show. He's been a viral sensation. He was down in LA grinding away for 20 years, and he has some great advice for some actors out there who are thinking about tightening up their game and auditioning. Stick around, guys. You do not want to miss this one. Let's go. Hey guys, our guest today is Palmer Scott. Like I was saying in the intro, he's been on some amazing projects. He's been on Nip Tuck, he's been on Frasier, he's been on Poor Paul, he's been on the Tim and Eric Show, and he was a viral sensation. He's someone that you don't want to miss out on hearing today. In addition to that, he has a lot of experience in improv, theater, accents. He just really is an all-around good guy, and he has a lot of good advice for you guys today. So please listen carefully to a lot he has to say. And at the end of this, I'll be coming back so we can summarize this, so we can figure out all the good points that we've learned from this amazing man. Here we go. All right, so we're here with Palmer Scott, the one and only, the legend, the man. So I wanted to give a little context about how I know you. Just barely met you the other day. I was on the set of a commercial. What was it? Truvy, the Truvy commercial.
Yeah.
And in between the breaks that, we normally have a little bit of downtime as actors, I saw a few actors come in and start taking pictures with you. And I was like, what is going on here? And they were sitting on your lap. No, you were sitting on their lap.
Yeah.
That's right. And I was like, what is this all about? And one of the gals said he's in a really popular show. Well, it's a popular show, but it was a really viral segment. And give us a little bit of background on that and like what that's all about, because apparently you're a big deal.
In certain quarters. Generally, it's with college-age stoners, but a lot of other people enjoy it too. Cartoon Network has a nightly program called Adult Swim. Two producers who worked a lot for them and still are Tim Heidecker and Eric Wareheim, Tim and Eric. And their second show that they produced for these people was called Tim and Eric, Awesome Show, Great Job. And when they first started doing their things, they would get just characters that they would find on the street. And that worked fine for them. But then they started writing individual scripts and scenes, and they found that you just can't take any old oddball off the Hollywood Boulevard and give them a script and expect them to be able to do it.
Right.
So they started hiring real actors. Now, a lot of people assume that I'm just one of these people who got grabbed up off the street. No, it was an actual audition process. I had to go in. Comedic actor doing a dramatic monologue was the thing, so I did that. And then they sent me this little song called Sit On You.
This is what I do.
So I listened to it. Now, I had seen only one episode of one of their shows, one called Tom Goes to the Mayor.
Mm-hmm.
And so I put this thing together, and I was dressed all in black and all this, and this is what I do. I sit on you. But I started working with him, and one thing you want to do is, if you go to LA, take acting classes, whether you need them or not, and do theater. The reason why is you're going to meet people who can tell you how the business is working at that time. Because it changes. It changed from the time that I started in '94 to when I had to leave in 2014. And you need to learn what the casting directors are looking for at that time. If you're going to work television, watch at least 1 or 2 episodes of every show that comes on so you know their style, so that if you get a chance to audition for them, you know what they're looking for.
So you've had a lot of credits, right? Because I went through, I kind of did a little research on you. I saw that you've done a lot of good, interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you have probably had an intense audition process down in LA. And, well, here's the thing. Take us through like what that audition process is like there, and then how you started to hone your audition process to make it so that it wasn't as
difficult? Because I think every actor struggles with the audition process.
Oh yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
tell us about your process and, just take us through it.
Okay. Uh, First thing I want to tell your people is never let them see you act.
Hmm.
Never get up there in front of the casting director or however you do. Never shake yourself out or go, or like, just a moment, and set yourself. Be ready to go from the moment you walk in.
Hmm.
They don't want to see an actor. They want to see a real person. Establish your character. Be familiar enough with your script and have it highlighted so that if you have to look at it, you can. Most casting directors, even the ones here, will forgive you looking at a script. What they won't forgive is you breaking your character. Keep your character.
Right.
But make sure that if you're worried about your script, if you're worried about your memorization, have one in your hand. They will forgive that.
Right.
But only if you keep character.
Sure, like you said, you're on Frasier, right? And
Yeah.
you've done some other episodic things as well. When we were talking on set, you had said you had done something else that was supposed to have been a longer run, but because of the writer's strike, it got cut down as well.
Yeah.
So I think the big thing is, have you had an audition where I've heard, a lot of stories of actors going in for series auditions where they got to go in between, there's a big group of people there, and there's a really high pressure, nerve-wracking situation.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you've had some of those in your career. I'm sure you've had situations where you're like, what am I going to do? What is your process with that? I mean, how do you, as an actor who has all this veteran experience, how do you tackle that?
Well, I guess the way I look at it is, if I don't book the role, I'm okay. If I book the role, I'm okay. You've got to be willing to just let it go.
Hmm.
You can beat yourself up for a little bit, but if you're going to make your whole life about one audition, you're really going to have nothing but heartache, because you will never be happy. You will never be able to relax. Relaxing is one of the most important things with an audition. Be there, be able to be part of the room. I don't know if that makes sense, but you have to open yourself up. Even if the character's a little closed in person, you've got to be able to reach emotionally every square inch. I feel confident about the audition when I'm doing it, and the moment I get in the car, it's like, oh, hell, I should have done this. Oh, why didn't I say that? Oh, I should have lifted my hand 3 inches at that point instead of just leaving it there. You will always second guess yourself, but don't make it the only thing that you do.
Right.
Also, look at the things that you did right and try to remember them for the next time. I remember to stay focused. I remember to look away from the camera, but make it look like I'm talking directly to little technical things. Remember the technical things you did right. Remember the character things you did right, and chalk it up, because to people starting out in that, you can be too thin, too fat, too short, too tall, too ethnic, too non-ethnic, too bald, too much hair. You never know. It can be anything from your looks to, I didn't like his voice. I wanted a deeper voice for that.
Right.
So you don't know. So if you're taking each audition as a judgment on your value, you will destroy yourself. Mm-hmm. You can't do that. You must accept that you are who you are. And all you can do is the best that you can. And if you screw up, accept it and move on. Learn how to deal with it from then on. Also, one thing I can't emphasize enough is take improv classes. If you can, that has helped me more than anything else. Now, I never took a class directly, but doing a lot of theater, and I do mean I've done a lot, you learn, oops, they blew their cue. I've got to cover this. Oh, that prop just broke. I got to cover it. So you got to maintain your character and be prepared. When you can make yourself stand out, do it. But don't do it at the expense of others. I had such a wonderful time as an actor in LA that I can't think of anything I would change. The knowledge, well, one thing, don't beat yourself up after every audition. When I auditioned for Frasier, that was my first on-camera audition where I was possibly getting a role. I couldn't sleep the entire night before my callback. My stomach was churning. I was unable to sleep. I went in haggard. Luckily, I used to have enormous reserves of energy, so I was able to pull that up. The audition process is not you.
Right.
You never know what they're looking for. They may have a breakdown that says this, this, and this, but somebody may come along in the audition who's nothing like the character, who they just say, wow, let's go with him. Another thing, listen to what your director or the casting director tells you. Listen to it. Don't decide you know more than what they do. Mm-hmm. And if you're unclear as to what they're asking for, say, I don't understand. Do you mean such and such, or do you mean, because if they're telling you, they want you to understand. Their job isn't to make actors feel horrible about themselves or to do terrible things to them or whatever. Their job is to find people who they can say, here are the people I think you might want to hire. And if they're presenting a bunch of people who look like they're jackwads, excuse my language, that casting director isn't going to be hired again. Right. So the casting directors want as many competent actors available as possible, and they will help you look the best that they can.
Wow, some really good stuff from a really good guy. I really enjoyed this interview because he dropped a lot of tidbits of wisdom for us to learn from. And let's go over them. Take acting classes and do theater. Watch at least 1 or 2 episodes of the shows you're auditioning for so you know their style. Never let them see you act. Be ready to go from the moment you walk in the door. Don't break character in an audition. If I don't book the role, I'm okay. If I book the role, I'm okay. Learn to relax. You will always second guess yourself. Remember what you did right. Don't take the audition as a judgment on your value. Take improv classes. Make yourself stand out, but not at the expense of others. Don't beat yourself up after every audition. That one is very important. The audition process is not you. Listen to what the director or the casting director tells you. Thank you so much, Palmer, for joining us and letting us know about your experience in the industry. Let me know what you guys think. Comment, like, subscribe. Tell me more about what's going on with your audition processes. Are they similar? Have you had situations like he's had? Have you had any experience with some of the lessons that he taught today? Because I'd really like to know, guys. Stick around. Can't wait to see you next time, guys. Take care.